Chris, maybe we'll just start with the state of the tourism industry. How is it looking like right now? I know the numbers have pretty much stayed the same.
Right. So, as I'm sure your viewers are aware and have been keeping up with the news, Hanmi released their November report showing that occupancy went down for the month of November. We are finalizing our arrival statistics for November, and it's going to correspond to the drop in arrivals, and that's primarily because we did have a 1 month period of reduced flights from Korea. Jeju Air had to suspend the evening flight due to some aircraft maintenance issues that they're undergoing, but that has since resumed starting this past Sunday, December 8th. And so, the state of the industry is challenging right now, as everybody knows. It is a significant challenge when we have 75% market share for Korea and Japan taking up a very small market share after that, and then the non-existent or the sort of minimal share that the China market has through the direct flights that we have from Hong Kong. So it is a challenging time, especially this last month in November. But we do see things are going to pick up here in December and onward. The evening flight from Incheon, I mentioned, is just resumed a few days ago, and so that makes it 3 daily from Incheon, and then there's going to be additional flights from Busan starting December 20th. That's twice weekly. And then we have the 3 weekly flights from Tokyo Narita, and then the twice weekly flights from Hong Kong. So things are challenging, but I'm optimistic that things are going to pick up.
And so can you tell us and inform our community about what MVA is doing to market the CNMI?
Oh man, it's a lot, and it's nonstop. But
are you focusing on Korea? Is that
Korea and Japan is where we have representative offices, so those are kind of the bulk of where our work is done. We don't have office in China or Hong Kong, so we're sort of relying on Hong Kong Airlines and the partners that are involved with that flight to do our marketing for us in that area. But Korea and Japan, we're doing a lot. Just fresh off the top of my head, we just attended the Toyota Thanks Festival, Toyota Thank You Fair in Nagoya, the headquarters of Toyota Group. I'm not sure how aware the readers are of what's going on with the Toyota Group, but we all know that AK just opened their brand new dealership there in Puerto Rico a few weeks ago. And so the Toyota Group has sort of shifted a lot of their focus to Saipan and Guam more recently in the last few months. And they have sort of begun to push for tourism-related initiatives so that they can sort of entice their employees. And just for everybody's record, Toyota is the largest company in Japan. It's one of the largest conglomerates in the world. And so they are trying to sort of help us market to their employees, which is hundreds of thousands, if not 1 million employees, if you include the entire Toyota Group around the world. But it's a huge, significant population that we're going to try and target. So we participated in the Thanks Fair in Nagoya this last weekend, where we were the only destination that was invited and allowed to have a booth. And so it kind of made it seem really neat, where we were sort of special guests really of the Toyota Group, which is massive. And so we were there, we were promoting our product to that market. And then of course, if your viewers are following our press releases, we just announced that we hired a new group to represent us in Japan. So Dentsu Incorporated is our new representative office, effective just a few months ago in September. They've been very active. They've hit the ground running, and just again for background purposes, people that are familiar with the Dentsu name, they are the largest PR marketing advertising firm in Japan. At one point in time, they were the largest in the world, and so we have them now representing us for the Japan market. And so we're very optimistic that they're gonna turn things around for us. We work closely with United Airlines, of course, on the 3 weekly flights that they operate from Tokyo Narita. And then we have Korea, our largest market. With the Korea market as well, we just appointed a new representative effective October 1st, so just a couple months ago too. They've also been pretty aggressive in representing us and marketing us to the Korea market. We haven't announced it yet, but we will be making announcements soon on some partnerships that we're tying up with regards to sports tourism. We're going to partner with, it's called Runnable, and they're the organizers for the Seoul Marathon. And so we're working with them to promote Saipan Marathon and lure in participants. So, you know, we have all of that going on. We have, of course, our Hong Kong flights that are happening. We're doing some advertising in Hong Kong market to attract that audience. Minimal. We don't have an office there, so we're relying, as I mentioned earlier, we're relying on our partners there at Hong Kong Airlines. And then we have our local marketing team, you know, led by Thomas Kim and his team, Brenda, Sky, and Ezra, who really do the English language marketing for us. And they sort of market to all the other markets that we don't have offices in. So it's kind of long-winded, but it's a lot. There's a lot going on for us.
You know, there's lots of news. Of course, we all want more airlines, right?
Right.
And out of Asia, we just all saw that announcement about Alaska and Hawaiian Airlines, opening more routes there.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of suggestions I'm sure you're getting. But when it comes to attracting more airlines, I know that doesn't necessarily fall under your jurisdiction as MVA. That's a Ports Authority
Exactly.
You know, topic. But I mean, that part of marketing is, you know, enticing, you know, the investment. So,
Absolutely.
I mean, what can we expect? Any new or returning brands? I mean, what can you share with the community?
Yes, I can say that yes, you know, without going into further detail, just only because a lot of these things, these discussions are sensitive, and a lot of them have, you know, proprietary or you know, competitive information that if out there, we don't want our competitors or their competitors to see what they're doing before they actually make any official announcements. But definitely, we are aggressive at trying to get airlines, in particular from Japan, Korea. And of course, you know, the China market is something different. That there are regulatory issues that involve the Washington D.C. level matters that are being handled separately. But we defer. You know, a lot of yes, you're right. Airline recruitment, airline sort of retention, really in other U.S. jurisdictions fall under the purview of the port authorities, the airport authorities, and so we work closely with CPA. We do on enticing airlines to come here, sort of getting our name out there. We need to, you know, airlines are not just going to sit down and wait for, we shouldn't be sitting down waiting for airlines to knock on our doors. We need to go out there and knock on their doors. There are thousands and thousands of destinations that are competing against us for the same airline. So we need to get out there and get our name recognized and known, and attract them to come here with anything from, you know, we are an attractive destination. I do believe that the CNMI has a superior product compared to many of our neighbors in our region. But getting the word out there is our job, and then which goes hand in hand with CPA's role in attracting airlines, because airlines choose destinations that will make business sense for them. So we need to make sure that we work closely with CPA on that. They control all the airports, and to include the fees and charges that all airlines must pay when they land here, when they operate here. So, you know, thank you very much to CPA for their recent move to rescind some of the increases that they announced. That literally did save at least one airline that was already discussing suspending one of the flights that they operate here. So we're very grateful that CPA, chose to listen to the industry and work with the partners. So MVA is out there, and we're doing a lot, but and stay tuned because we will be making some announcements soon on that front.
All right. My last question is about, you've said multiple times about getting the word out. When we do market to different destinations, how are we describing the CNMI? Is this a place for family to go?
Yeah.
Are you saying this is a place for athletes to go?
Yeah.
What is our brand if I were to come up to an MVA booth in Asia?
Sure, that's a great question. First and foremost, we're a family-friendly beach resort destination here in Micronesia. We are the closest U.S. soil to these mega cities in Asia, 3 hours from Tokyo, 4 from Seoul, 5 from Beijing, Shanghai, and Hong Kong. And so that sort of image is what we want and should portray. We are safe, we are part of the United States, and so that sort of brings with it this sense of security for people that come to these islands. And so that's primarily our messaging out there, is we're family friendly, and of course when you come here, we're also a place for seniors, for singles, for couples, for corporations that send MICE groups out for incentives or for meetings, to choose these destinations to send their employees to enjoy and to sort of have professional development. We target all kinds of audiences, and you mentioned sports, and that is definitely a big one for us. We just had Hell of the Marianas last Saturday, 160 participants from around the world. First place female was a Korean, first place male was a Japanese. And so we're very pleased with the outcome, thanks to the partners and our co-organizers there. And then we have the Rota Marathon coming up in a few weeks here, January 18, the second annual. And then we have the Rota Marathon, Saipan Marathon in March 8. So we, again, we haven't announced it yet, but maybe your viewers get a sneak peek that we signed an MOU with the organizer of the biggest marathon in Korea just a few days ago. And we will announce our partnership soon, and they are going to help us promote and recruit runners from Korea to join the Saipan Marathon in March. So all of that, and it kind of goes hand in hand with some of the other things that we do throughout the year. We have the Taste of the Marianas, we have the Pika Festival, we have the Coconut Festival and the Pisita Luta and Rota. There's other things that go on throughout the year that sort of have they're added activities, added attractions for people to come and enjoy when they're here. So it's not just getting them here on the plane and getting over here when they get here. We would like for them to have activities and things to do. And I want to emphasize, though, that that's really not just a government, an MVA function. We need the community to come out in full force and maybe have other organizations come up with events that they can host and we can help promote. It is a community effort. Tourism is everybody's business, is what we always say. And it really is very true, especially for us here.
All right. Anything else you'd like the public to know that I didn't ask about?
No. We thank our partners at Zoning. Thank you to Zoning. We do see that they're putting up notices on the blighted buildings. We saw some in Garpan pretty recently, and I saw a deadline of January 25th to respond to that one building that's located on Royal Palm Avenue. So we're glad to see those kinds of things happening. It's badly needed. We have to have a product that MVA can sell, can go out and promote, an attractive product. And we have the best beaches, we have the best, beautiful nature in all the 3 islands, and our history, our culture, our food are excellent. It's the man-made things that need some TLC, and we want to make sure that all our partners, all our stakeholders are doing their part, and we thank our partners and other agencies and community organizations that are doing their part to kind of help improve our product, because these small things matter for the tourism industry as a whole.